Hey, Don J, what's going on? Oh man, you're gonna waste so much money on ammo with that. Fun though. Omar, how you doing? There we go, got that all switched up. Haha. There we go. Not too bad, Omar, not too bad. Getting some work done today. Do you think the aluminum switches are actually good? They seem like the steel Glock internals chew. Yeah, steel's gonna chew up aluminum easy. I didn't know they made aluminum switches. I thought they were, well, that's, you learn something. Yeah, we don't deal in those. We already got to deal with all the other regulations and whatnot. I think we found a shop to carry some of our slides, though, which is pretty awesome. And welcome everybody to Stiffler Manufacturing, where we turn steel bars into gun slides. A little rough. I mean, downside to having pro-gun politicians is sales are down. That comes with it, though. We are making a new 26 today, so I'm hoping testing goes great with it. Or rather, we've started making a new 26 today. I don't promise timelines anymore. They always seem to go south. Life just seems to throw a wrench into timelines. It's like, hey guys, things are going great. Yeah, if, this goes good, boom, we're gonna have this slide at this time. Zanti, what's going on, man? Doing our Glocktober sale. 15 to 20% off strip slides. Something weird happened. Been using my Gen 5 pin every week, and today the pin snap. Oh, damn. That could happen with a Gen 3 pin, too. See if there's any wear on the pin where it snapped, and inspect your slide and see if there's any internal wear to see if something caused it. There were these brass-colored firing pins a few years back that people loved because they were so cheap. The problem is certain slides had different, and by different I mean very minutely different firing pin channels, and that minute difference caused them to snap. Huh. Like we had one, the guy was like, yeah, it worked great in yours, but then he put it into, what slide did he put it into? It was like an LFA or a PSA, something with an A in it. And it snapped after the second shot. And then he tried this again, and he put one in one of ours, and it ran just fine. And then put it in that other slide and snapped. And turns out they had a slight defect in their firing pin channel. $500 to $700. Okay, a little better than our Glock OEM recoil spring that broke on us after the third magazine. 3 mags through and just kaput. Hey, Desert Armory, what's going on? We'll see if we can confuse the algorithm today. Bonus points for whoever guesses who this is. Getting some water. Non-recoil springs. Live in 45 minutes, right on. I really should get like a whole live station set up. It's just my work desk. Hey, J-Dog, what's going on, man? Just showing off some slides, talking about our sale today, answering questions as people pop in. Hey, Gerald, what's going on, man? You know, actually, yeah, Don J, someone else did something with that too. Maybe it was Rando Wayne or Ghost or I forget the channel, but the guy dropped it onto concrete, dropped it onto gravel, and yeah. Yeah, Cerakote does a decent job. I mean, it does wear with time and use, though. So, I mean, some people think it's like DLC, and it's not. You know, it's Cerakote. It's gonna wear. But the wear it gets is like a natural wear. Oh yeah. I mean, I've dropped this one on the ground plenty of times, mostly because of the Siley optic attached to it. And the only wear I've really got on it is this from holster. And then, of course, from shooting it, but that's about it. Actually, I think this is from dropping it. Let's see if it shows up. Come on, focus. Focus, you little bastard. Nope. Not gonna happen, I guess. That's okay. Heck, sometimes we even make slides with pre-wear, so you don't have to worry about it. But most of the wear you'll get is going to be on the inside, from shooting. The outside tends to, unless you're using it a lot, training with it, which, I mean, heck yeah, do it. Get it in. But if you're just using it as a showpiece, a range toy, the only wear you're going to get is from shooting it. The exterior is going to stay nice and clean. Of course, you could get something like DLC coating and it'll last a lot longer. We debate doing something like that in the future. We're just not set up for it right now. Don't recall using that optic before. Elkin Spectre. Hollow Sun, Gideon Optics, Siley. Don't have a huge ton of experience on red dots. That's not bad on the price. Oh, and then of course the CCO from the Army and the ACOG. But I mean, they worked. I'm sure there's better stuff out there, but they worked. I've seen them get broken before. I don't think I've seen one fail, like, during use. I think my favorite one, we watched one get run over because the guy leaned it up against a vehicle while he was doing something. The vehicle moved, and so it fell over, and another vehicle came in behind and ran it over. And Humvees are heavy. Yeah, they were not happy with him. And ACOGs, they have fallen off before, which is why guys tend to, even after they're mounted, they tend to wrap them in 550 cord. Because stuff happens. The paracord. They'll physically tie the even though the optic's mounted correctly, they'll physically tie it to the weapon. Just because stuff happens. Oh, Don J. I don't know, maybe. I can ask him. Some private pile type shit. Because we do utilize, and I think I could show this on here, we utilize a modified Gen 5 firing pin hole. So it's good for Gen 3s and 5s, but firing pins will break over time or with use. I broke one on like my 1000th shot. Just got a replacement. Let's see, there we go. There we go, that's a good angle. So it's not the slotted like the original Gen 3, but it's not quite the teardrop of the Gen 5. But I've ran almost 1,000 rounds through this one. No problems so far. Sometimes you just get unlucky with certain parts. Like we got unlucky with that frickin' recoil spring. Broke after 3 mags. Just stuff happens sometimes. We actually had one guy that he had a problem with one of his, and he got a firing pin from I don't remember where, but he's like, "Hey, I'm having light strikes and I'm having all these issues," and I'm like, "Have you taken the slide apart yet?" And he did, and he's like, "My firing pin's cracked in half." It was still functioning just enough to actually strike the primer, but it was completely cracked through. Hey, 1990, what's going on? Welcome to our live. Getting some fluctuation on viewers tonight. I probably should have started earlier, but eh. Maybe I should do like a giveaway tonight or something. I know the 1,000 giveaway is... It's been delayed. Because we've been focusing on some other stuff. But it will be a Viper, I can tell you that. It's going to be a Viper for the giveaway. I just don't know when. Because some other stuff took priority over giving something away for free. Mostly the 26. Hey, Cristobal, how's it going? So we'll see if we got this new gun store picking up some of our slides next month. It looks like we do. I gotta wait until I start, shouting their name, but they're here in Arizona. That looks like an interesting book. The Left Arm Corps. Writings by amputee Civil War veterans. That seems interesting. I've got to stop buying books and just start reading the stuff that's in my collection. Hey, Stay Dangerous. What's going on, man? Welcome to the live, man. Thank you guys all for the likes. It's greatly appreciated. I was briefly over 1440 for a minute there, but it looks like I lost a couple people, and that's okay. That happens. Not everybody can get stiff for Stiffler. Damian Christian, what's going on, man? Right now, these are 20% off. Glocktober. All of our orange and black ones, 20% off. Everything else, 15% off. McMahon, how you doing? You know, I should probably post this in other places too. I always forget to do that. That's okay. I mean, a lot of our stuff is organic. Real, just like free form. Pop in, talk about whatever, chat about whatever. People can ask questions, and I kind of like it that way. Let's see. We want this. There we go. Also, I'm curious to see if next month, or even this month, really, if Facebook throws a shit fit and we get banned for wishing the Marine Corps a happy birthday again. Also, Veterans Day. And as we get closer to Halloween, as we talk about this stuff. Favorite slide that we currently make? Probably the SM19 Turbo, like this one here. Favorite slide that we have ever made is the Leonidas. Which, to show an image of the Leonidas, we've got a few left in reserve, but we don't actually actively make them right now. They're a bit harder to make, a bit more expensive to make, and people were just more into our cheaper slides, so it kind of fell off the wayside for a minute. But I think it's beautiful. It's a great looking slide. And right now they're around 300. The few that we have left are around 300 a pop. But, We've also seen some resurgence in popularity for it. But it's not enough to bring it back to full production. We might do like limited runs for people who like it. Like maybe make 20 or 50 of them or something like that. Does that one work with a ported barrel? Yeah, the Leonidas works with a ported barrel. So does the Viper here. So does the Turbo. That said, sometimes you gotta hunt for the perfect ported barrel, because your windows might be a little different. I've seen, like the Viper, for example, most ported barrels work perfectly well with it, but sometimes there's some that have a little bit of porting that skirts that edge right there. So when that happens, you're going to get some char back in here. If I had the Leonidas with me, I'd show you. The inside does get charred up with ported barrels. Oh man, getting all these messages. That seems like a scam, so we're not going to click on that. We'll add you to primary. Delete. I get all kinds of crazy messages. I've gotten quite a few lately telling me to go, you know, toaster bath myself. So that's been fun. It's nice to know I have enemies. Makes me warm. Oh, we got a request for a collaboration. That's pretty cool. Actually, we get requests quite a bit. Some of them we've since changed to, like, I guess, standards on who we're going to collaborate with. We used to be a little more willing. But after we got screwed over twice, we've changed it up a little bit. Hey, Sour Sol, how's it going? Nothing for the Glock 21 yet. We'd like to do 45 caliber sometime. But right now it's just 19s and 17s, and we're still in progress on the 26. We're actually working on making a new 26 today or tomorrow so we can go and test it. And if everything goes right, then boom, we can start production. If. Life's been throwing some wrenches at us on that if. But yeah, I'd like to do 45 caliber sometime, 10 millimeter, maybe 40 cal. I know there's less support for them as Glock is starting to stop production on some of the 40 cal, but maybe we could do a 40 cal someday. But yeah, probably 45 and 10 millimeter. Bromilco, what's going on? Yeah, people like their calibers. I'm good with 9 millimeter. I find 40 to be a little snappy, but it's easily controllable. Oh, I'll show you guys this photo. This is fun. So we get requests to make stuff like this quite frequently. Look at that brick. There's just nothing to it. I mean, you've got your rear dovetail, and then I imagine the front sight post is put in there, but it's just a brick. No serrations, no optics cut, nothing. And we get requests to make those from time to time. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy, what's going on, man? Anything for the 34? No, nothing for the 34 yet. We might do the 34 or the 17L sometime in the future. But currently it's just the 17 and 19. Snappy in a subcompact. Try the 10mm hardcast. Okay. Something to look into. It gets requested quite a bit that we make a 40 cal. Plus, I mean, 45 and 10mm. And then the other variants of the 19, so... Like the 26, we're working on it. After the 26, we're going to start work on the 43. And after that, I honestly don't know. Maybe we'll start doing just Gen 5. Or maybe we'll work on something else. Maybe we'll do the 365 from SIG. I don't know. Oh, right on. It's funny that those are all kind of in the same family. So you've got the 26, 19, 17, and 34. They're all basically the same slide, just longer and shorter. And the 45, of course, too, being Gen 5. But yeah. Drink that water. Yeah, we're still working on the 26. It's given us more trouble than the 19 and the 17 did. But, I mean, the one we have right now, it's shootable and it's buildable. We're just not happy with it. So, we're still working on a final improvement. Hopefully this is the final improvement. And then we'll start production on the 26. And we've already got a purchaser who wants 50 of them, so it's definitely motivation for us to make it. Plus with everyone being all hyped up with the Glocktober 26X. That's what a lot of the motivation is distributors and vendors, they start asking for stuff. Customers ask for things too, like the individual buyer. They ask for stuff too, but they ask for some of the craziest stuff. Like stuff that hasn't been made in a couple of decades. And they're like, hey, would you make this? And it's like, we could, but no. It'll never sell, except maybe to you. And you're going to buy like maybe one or two. It's not worth the R&D, unfortunately. Which we're glad we didn't make anything for the 320. We were debating it, and we had some basic plans drawn up. And then we kind of changed our minds, and then the ICE memo came out, and they were like, yep, nope, we're done. We're not working on this. Hey, what's Scott Gamage doing? Interesting. But for those of you just joining us, welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing. Or if you weren't aware, we're doing our Glocktober sale. So all of our strip slides are 15 to 20% off. So if you're thinking about doing a new 19 or 17 build, we've got some stuff for you. And it's all month long, too. And that's everything. Every color. Even the camos. These camos are 15% off this month. Even and the lightning stencils, which we get from Tactical Penguin, so shout out to those guys. Speaking of which, oh good, they are in there. Let's see, let's check that little edit. And back that up a little bit and save. There we go. But yep, here to answer questions, talk about whatever, and you guys feel free to comment on whatever. Real free form up in here. Fluffy, yes it is. This is H Series Cerakote Bright Purple. I wish I had a little bit of everything to show off, but only got a few slides this time. This one here is H Series Gold. Has a bit of metallic flake in it, which you can see as the light passes over it. This one is the Space Worn. It is our graphite black, which we have simulated distressing on it. Chris Smith, what's going on, man? You can get it on our site. We're doing 15% off this month. Glocktober. Shimmer aluminum. Give it that kind of silvery appearance with a little bit of metallic flake in there. That we do not, Kino. That we do not. Currently, it's only 19s and 17s. We are trying to get some finishing work done on a 26 and then range test it. If everything goes well, we'll have 26s. Hey, Jugo, what's going on? Any compensators you'd recommend? Not really. We don't have compensators, and we're not too familiar on brands with them. I know some people really like the Radian Ramjet that they have put in our slides before, but it's a little pricey. Someday we'll do a 45 caliber, though. Someday. I know people keep asking for it. I got a friend, she loves purple. I'm going to send her a screenshot of it. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yep, and they're 15% off this month, so at least on the stripped variants. Complete's full price. Well, someday we might. I'm not sure which 45 we do. We basically got to finish the 26, finish the 43, and then from there we might do Gen 5s. But we also might just pick another slide. It's hard to say. A lot of it depends on what our distributors and vendors want, and if there is a large outcry from individual customers to get something, because we've got to kind of determine if our investment is worth it. But yeah, more slides as we continue to grow. We've been in business since January 2023, so we're coming up on our third year. And just as we keep growing, we keep doing more. Started out with one slide, and now we've got 4 available models. We put 2 on hiatus, the Flash and the Leonidas. They're a lot harder to produce, and they're more expensive because they're harder to produce. And people just weren't buying them as much as they were these models, so went with what people were going after. There we are. Getting some messages on Instagram, Facebook, people just reaching out. Sorry if I go quiet for a moment. Feel free to keep asking questions, comment on what you like, whatever your daily carry is. I carry this one, actually, as one of my dailies, along with a Glock 19 Gen 5. Occasionally I'll pick up a Ruger SR9, or I got an old 357 that I carry. Hey, I'll try to answer that question, Racer. It might not be accurate, but I will try to answer it. There we go. Old Ruger SR9. Building a Glock Gen 3 upper with a ported barrel and comp. Do I need a lighter spring? Ported barrel and a comp. Interesting. I usually see one or the other, not both together. It's possible you would need a lighter spring. So, for example, the 17 here utilizes a 17-pound recoil spring. But if you were to put a bunch of cuts in it, like say this Viper here, you're going to reduce weight. You might need a 13 to 15 pound recoil spring because of that weight reduction. That said, it depends on your build. Maybe you put in a heavier guide rod, maybe you have an optic on it. You know, it all depends on your build. Like this one, I'm using a standard Glock OEM recoil spring, and I've got an optic on it, even though we lost some weight with the front grip serrations and the porting. Initially, no. Just like I'll tell you right now, if you don't have experience building or experience with Glocks, you should buy an OEM before you buy one of our slides. Don't get me wrong, I want your money. I'm very honest about that. But I also want you to be safe and improve as a marksman. So start with OEM and then work on to building and getting our stuff. So with the Radian Ramjet and Afterburner and the spring kits and all the other stuff, build a baseline yourself as a marksman before you start adding that stuff. Because you're going to spend a lot of money, and if you don't have that baseline first, you're not really going to know if it's actually improving you or not. Because it can be a useful tool, a port, a comp, but you should focus on basic marksmanship skills first, and then once you have those, start tiptoeing your way into having a ported barrel or a compensator or any other things you might do. If you're changing spring weights, build the base first and then start playing around with changing your build. The Ruger RXM will fit because it's basically a Glock clone. The big difference with an RXM is it has the fire control unit, which is removable. And the fire control unit, if I remember right, is what actually is the serialized device. So the Ruger RXM, the frame itself does not need to be serialized. Unlike, say, you know, a PSA Dagger, which is also a Glock clone, does not have a fire control unit. And the firing mechanism itself is the frame with its kit. So we've seen our customers take the Ruger RXM and put Glock 19 slides on it, including ours. Yeah, it's like the 320. They are not. They are a clone, a Glock clone. I'll say it again. Palmetto State Armory daggers are not Glocks. They are Glock clones. If you have an issue with that, that's on you, my guy. Same thing for the Ruger RXM. It's a clone. The Geisler, it's a clone. SCT, it's a clone. Yes, the use of the word Glock is just to show compatibility. That's why the word Glock is used. Specifically, there's an entire Glock disclaimer that businesses like ours actually have to have. This product is not manufactured, authorized, endorsed, or warranted by Glock. Glock does not warrant or represent that this product is compatible with Glock pistols. Glock is a federally registered trademark with Glock Incorporated and is one of many registered trademarks by Glock Incorporated and Glock lots of European letters. Neither Stiffler Manufacturing nor this YouTube page are affiliated in any manner with or otherwise endorsed by Glock Incorporated or Glock lots of European letters. The use of Glock in this video is merely to advertise the sale of pistols, parts, components, and or accessories that are compatible with Glock. For genuine Glock anything, you have to go to Glock. So I hope you all enjoyed that little bit of legalese. Every now and then we have to mention legalese on these videos because YouTube is YouTube. For example, anytime someone asks if we will ship overseas, no, we will not, because of the International Traffic in Arms Regulations, or ITAR, which is overseen by the United States Department of State's Directorate of Defense Trade Controls. Basically, you can't ship weapons or parts or accessories or plans overseas without having certain licensing through the U.S. Department of State. You are a dirty little girl. I'm going to have to clean you later. Yeah, exactly. That's why there's all these disclaimers for businesses. For example, did you know that Glock actually has copyrighted the letter and numeric for things like, say, G19? You see G19, you know Glock 19. So businesses can't use G19 unless you say compatible with, for, works with G19. You can't say G19. Glock's attorneys are very clear on that. No, we do not. I mean, besides having a business license and paying taxes and all that, no, you don't need it because the uppers aren't serialized. Jugo, believe I saw you guys post you were having issues with an SCT frame. Is that still a thing? Was going to use the frame for an SM17 build. We were having an issue with the locking block on it, which I guess is a recent issue. Excuse me. We've used SCT frames multiple times in the past and have not had a problem before. So this is a first for us. So it was just that one frame and that one lower parts kit we were having a problem with. Our other SCT frames, no problems. Racer, as a business, no, because we do not have an FFL. But personally, have we? Yes. Did some with Polymer 80 that were pretty cool. You know, before Polymer 80 went under. Picked up a few of those frames and made some lowers. Or rather, you know, dremeled out and clipped some pieces off and made the lower happen. I kind of want to 3D print one sometime, but I've seen some other people that do it, and their 3D prints, they can get through, you know, maybe 50 to 100 rounds before the thing starts to break. We do make complete slides, but we'd have to get an FFL 07, I think, if we want to actually make full completes. Because the Second Amendment is the way, S-Loose, if I'm pronouncing that right. 2A certainly is the way, and you are here because it is the way, and you want to be a part of it secretly. Some part of you does. And perhaps you want to take advantage of our sale this month for Glocktober. And I don't care what your race is, what your religion is, what your political ideology is. If you are an American, you should be allowed to have a gun. Loose, okay. This is the way. Yep, I don't care if you're left. I don't care if you're right. I don't care if you're frickin' super conservative or liberal. I don't care if you're straight or trans. You want a gun and you're American, you frickin' do it. Now, of course, you should train with it, and you should practice safely with it, and educate yourself with it. But you're a free American. You should be allowed to have one. But I do care if you're wrong. And if you're not practicing firearms safety, and if you're not training, you are wrong. Hey, Wheelie Man, what's going on? Hey, greatly appreciate it. We're just talking about our Glocktober sale, talking about some of our slides here, and just answering questions and chat and find people up. Very free-form in here, people. Feel free to ask whatever questions you want to ask. Comment on what you want to comment. We've been in business since January of 2023. We are veteran-owned and operated. We've got vets on our staff. Did some time on Iraq, Afghanistan. Got a law enforcement advisor Well, veteran law enforcement advisor. He's former. Done pistol shooting competitions, 2A advocacy, some rifle shooting competitions. So feel free to ask whatever. Spent 10 years in the Army myself, and now we're making gun parts. Well, you know, at least slides. Oh, here's a fun one. Maybe you guys should check this out on some of yours too. So, for example, the gun that this goes to, if it zooms in, come on, focus. There it is. Look at that. Look at that magazine. Made in Italy. But the entire rest of the gun itself, made in the United States, specifically Arizona. And Ruger is not the only one I've seen this with. Why is Italy making so many magazines? Oh, absolutely. My first shooting competition, I was very nervous. I was going up against people way more experienced than me. Hey, Compliant Armory. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. We make these. We mill down some 17-4 stainless steel and we turn them into these slides. The matches we went to provided us instructions on what we were supposed to shoot. A lot of them were military shooting competitions, like the U.S. Army's Excellence in Competition, Governor's Dozen, Adjutant General match. So they required us to shoot what they told, you know, they're like, here you go, this is the weapon you're going to be shooting today. Here's the ammunition you're going to be using. We didn't have a choice. Yeah, these are Glock 19 and 17 style slides. S-Loose, not yet. We are planning on making a 43 slide at some point. Right now we're working on a 26, which we are hoping to complete sometime soon. But once the 26 is complete, we'll be working on a 43. Hey, thank you for your support. We've got a few vets in our group that work at the Stiffler Manufacturing. Army, Marine Corps. We used to have a Navy person with us, sailor. I forget what she did exactly, but she was with us for a little while. We have some infantry with us, some combat medics, some admin combat support types. She would laugh at that and then probably punch me if I were to say that to her. But it'd be worth it. Oh, this one here. Yeah, this is our SM19 Zoom slide. The white is Arctic White F Series. The black is Graphite Black H Series. And the stenciling we used came from Tactical Penguin that allowed us to create this. And of course, all of our slides come with a Trijicon RMR flat optic cut. And for those of you that don't like optics, we have an aluminum RMR cover plate. Just Loctite it on. Good to go. Coltix, we make slides for the 19 and the 17, and we are currently working on finishing the 26. If all goes well, we'll start producing 26s. And we make them out of bars of steel like this one here. Oh, thank you. This is Bright Purple, another H-Series Cerakote. Oh yeah, our slides start at 145 and end at around 285, depending on if you're getting a stripped or a complete, and which model and color scheme it's in. But this month is Glocktober, so we're also doing 15% to 20% off all of our strip slides. Hey, Tristan Spears, what's going on? Thank you, S. Luce. And for those of you wondering what I'm playing around with in the background, it is a Ruger SR9. They don't even make these anymore. I love the SR series. The Glock is easier to take apart, but you can still take this apart by hand too. No tools needed. Strip it down. Great little pistol. Yeah, we were taking a little bit of a break there. I was getting tired, plus the whole family was getting sick, so we stopped doing some lives for a little bit. Cheap range ammo. I'd say probably most often I end up using Blazer. We have started to use, was it Scorpion? Not to be avoided, but it is having some primer issues we've noticed, where it's not always going off on the first strike. But that said, it's insanely affordable. And the ones that don't go off on the first strike, we decided to reload into a magazine, and second strike every time they would all pop. So I don't know. Maybe it was just a bad batch of primers that we got in a few boxes. Blazer brass. And then we usually recycle the brass. This one here, Tristan? This is our Space Worm. We use a graphite black H series, and then we purposely distress it, so each one comes out looking a little different. They look a little worn, but the wearing process actually makes each one look different, so no two are the same. So this one here got a lot of wear on the top, whereas others sometimes they get more wear on the sides. Oh, heck yeah, Sluice, that's awesome. One of our guys who helps out, he was a firearms instructor for the Sheriff's Department and one of the local police departments. Now he does like admin or accounting or something now in his side job, but he still pops in from time to time to help us out. And then I used to do range safety work for a little while myself. And then, of course, in the Army, side work was just teaching brand new people how to shoot and be on different weapons platforms. I guess you could call it remedial instruction. Which more than often would end up being, of course, you know, brand new privates, but also lieutenants and captains. Right on, Racer. You have a good night. And as always, stay 2A. Maybe I'll get this Ruger refinished. I don't know. I'm fond of it. It's one of my earlier pistols. And of course, it's made in Arizona, so I like it. Milwaukee. Yes, but we couldn't sell them. Unless we got permission from Milwaukee Tools. So a lot of those aftermarket stuff, a lot of people do them by themselves. Like, we get requests for Deadpool slides quite a bit, and the whole reason we don't do them, we don't do them, is because Disney and Marvel would probably have a fit. Yep, we got a few Marine infantry, Army medics, Army combat support type guys, former law enforcement, firearms instructors, and range safeties. Decent group of guys. We don't know everything, and we openly admit that we don't know everything. There's optics I've never used. There's weapons I've never fired. There's always something to learn. The Nintendo Zapper. Maybe we could get away with that. I don't... Well, then again, Nintendo is also kind of a very litigious company, so probably not. I'm a fan of Ruger in general. The RXM's cool just because it's a Glock clone. I know the one guy earlier, he had an issue with that, but yeah, they're not Glocks, they're Glock clones, and people use the word Glock to just show that it fits, that it works with that product. .45 or 9mm, I'm going to go with 9mm. And it's not that I don't like 45, I do. It's that I have more capacity, and if you are in a fight situation, I want more capacity, and I do not subscribe to the belief that you should be able to take out your adversary in 1 or 2 shots so a 7-round magazine is good. I subscribe to the belief that there's always one more opponent. That, and of course with the modern 9mm ammunition, things like stopping power is, not really an issue anymore. That Beretta USA bought 773? No, I didn't. Oh, shares of Ruger, okay. Yeah, something like that. I mean, my SR9 here holds 17 plus 1. And then you've got the, well, before people had a problem with them, but the M17 had a 17 and 21 round magazine. I think the Canix had like a 20 round magazine as well. It's... J-Dog unbanned you? It's not so much that, like, I think, like 45 is a great caliber. It really is. It's just I want the ability to have capacity. Because I'm always of the belief that there is always one more opponent hanging around. Hey, PVS7, what's going on, man? Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that Glock went and then discontinued the 357 SIG along with a bunch of others. Now I'm playing around with a Ruger New Vaquero and 45 Long Colt. Which I know earlier, as I said, capacity's awesome. But there's just something cool about an old cowboy gun in 45 Long Colt. Though I am disappointed that this Vaquero is made in New Hampshire. It should have been made in Arizona. There's just something weird about that. I don't know why. Yep, Newport, New Hampshire. The SR line was made in Arizona. So was the Ruger American, I do believe. But the Vaquero line, New Hampshire. EDC, a 300 Win Mag. Hell yeah. Yeah, but I mean, we didn't have a lot of manufacturing out west back then, so that makes sense. For now, though, I mean, it should have been Arizona. Just because I'm biased. What in the hell? Concealed Tristan. Jay New, what's going on, man? Cap. One day I'll EDC the Wrist Wrecker 5000. Honestly, I mean, like, I go out and shoot shotguns. I don't enjoy shooting shotguns. Like 12 gauge. 20 gauge is better for, you know, recoil, but I go out and shoot 12 gauge because I need to be able to do it. Not because I enjoy doing it. Like, same thing with, like, the Smith & Wesson 500. I shot it because I wanted to know I could do it, not because I enjoyed it. Like, it just wasn't fun. Like, I want a 454 Castle. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy shooting that, but I want one. Because why not? With the 4570, it hurt. But yeah, it's like my 30-06. I like, well, actually, I do kind of like shooting it, but I know I'm going to be sore afterwards. So it's like, yeah, I'll go out to the range and shot 100 rounds of 30-06. I know I'm going to be sore afterwards. It's not like the AR. And then you got Grandpa who fucking shot Nazis with 30-06, and then you're like, here's me being a bitch, and I have a recoil pad. He just had a wooden stock with a steel plate on it. Oh, those guys were magnificent stallions of men, I tell you. Right? I mean, I watched an old dude. He went and shot. Oh, what was it? Was it a bar? A BAR? And shouldered it like a champion. And this dude is seasoned, but just shouldered it like a champion and went to work. I was like, God damn. Like, how long has it been since you shot one of these? And he's like, fucking 70 years. Looked like he just shot it last week. Yep. Magnificent stallions of men, I tell you. Hey, we've gone over the hour mark and I didn't even really notice it. Right on. No, I don't want that. We also have an eBay store, and occasionally we leave offers open, and there's always some asshat on there who's like, yeah, I'll get one of your slides for like 50 bucks. I'm like, how about you just go to hell? We're not some cheap girl on the street, my guy. These are quality. No, we don't, PVS. But if you contact us on our sales email, sales@stifflermanufacturing.com, you could request one. And the painters, if they're not busy dealing with like a large order, they could probably do it. Just like request for a quote on what it'd be to make it and ask them if you could do the Halloween sale. They may or may not approve the Halloween sale, but they could potentially make that for you. And that's up to Miss Stiffler and the painting team because they're already busy with a few projects, but they could probably make time for it. Let's see here. Let's actually pop open the website. Which, by the way, those of you who do not know, feel free to check out all of our links and whatever. That's all of our social media. That's all of our stores. That's, our website. You can find out everything about us. Some of our affiliates, too, like we sell slides over to Davidson Defense, MMC Armory, Delta Team Tactical, RB Tactical. I need to add a few more on there because we also sell to the Hub, Serious Arms. There's a new gun store we're selling to next month, so I need to get them added on there. What is the worst brand of gun in our opinion? Jennings, probably. Just those pot metal guns from the 90s. They used to call them Saturday Night Specials. They were chambered in 22 LR, 25 ACP. I don't think there were any 9mm. I could be wrong. But they were cheap. They had heel clip magazines. Those things are awful. A lot of them did not have slide locks, so you couldn't... Tristan. Yeah, the Hub is a gun store in Arizona. They have one in Tucson, Mesa, and Lakeside. And they have some of our slides, along with Serious Arms up in Prescott, Arizona. We're about to get some slides off to another gun store in Tucson. Leave the Jennings 9 alone. I wouldn't trust it. I mean, don't be wrong, I've shot one. It's interesting, but I wouldn't trust my life with it. Yeah, it's shitty. Yeah. Back in the day, I had a 700 nitro. I shot a Bigfoot with them. God damn. Big ass elephant gun. Let's see. Tiger Surge. We also have another Tiger one that's really cool. It's got crocodile green on it with graphite black. Actually, I'll pull that one up. Because it was just sexy looking. It reminds me of like an 80s action movie, like Arnold Schwarzenegger putting fucking face paint on. That's what it reminds me of. I like it. We're also looking for new gun shops. I mean, if you guys have one in your local area, feel free to hit them up about us, because, yeah, we're looking to supply mom and pop gun shops with a few different options at dealer rates. So they can make some money, we can make some money, and local people can support their gun shop. And, you know, right now we sell to some distributors and some vendors and some other gun shops, but I'd like to break into some small gun shops, mom and pop, style gun shops. Expand 2A is the way. Yeah, like a Vietnam color. Yeah. Oh yeah, appreciate it. Because we've got, I mean, obviously the more you order, the better the deal you're going to get. If you came to us and said, "Hey, I want to buy 300 slides," like, you're going to get a hell of a deal. But, if you only want 10 for your shop, then yeah, we could do that too. Have a good one, Tristan. And this one that's opening up next month, he only wanted 20, and it's like, he's like, "Can you do that?" And it's like, yeah. Yeah, we can do 20. We'll help you out because you're a business too. Also veteran-owned business as well. So once everything's finalized, we'll chat them up on here too. And, if any of you happen to be local to Arizona, I'm like, "Hey, go check this, gun store out." Which we do that for others too. Go check out, Tactical Llama. Go check out DLD After Dark, John Crump News, J Dog Pimp Daddy, Chanson, Dust Cover Actual, Poppy the Gun Guy, Everyday Carry, Flying Rich Firearms, FV Ordnance, Below Average Utah Dad, Desert Armory, The Arms Room, Washington Gun Law, Stambuli Law. Go check them out. They talk about a lot of good gun laws type stuff going on around the country. 2A EDU, Local Prepper, Magazine Magic, KO Knives. Plenty of dudes out there doing a lot of 2A content, prep content, legal content, regarding laws and stuff that's being passed, court challenges, things like that. A lot of good guys, and yeah, we talk about them, and sometimes they're on here, sometimes we're on their stuff. Shooting Gallery, go check them out. Rando Wayne, Ghost, those are all good guys. Or if you got your own channel, like, feel free to hit us up, and like, we'll check your channel out. RTT Guns and Gear, Red Dawn Readiness, Rios Reloaded, NDG Training. You know, yeah, a lot of accounts, a lot of people that we interact with. So yeah, if you got your own 2A related account, feel free to hit us up sometime. Maybe we'll do a joint live, or maybe we'll just join, chat in your channel, like, comment, share. Got Gamage, if you guys haven't seen Got Gamage, give him a look. He was at the GunCon in Ohio, actually on the panel. So he got, not only does he have his own gun channel, of course, but he actually got to be on the panel for GunCon, which was pretty awesome. Speak of conventions, we went to SHOT Show back in January this year, and we are trying to go again January 2026. So we're going to be, well, if all goes well, we're going to be in SHOT Show in Las Vegas this coming January. So that'll be fun. And if you've never attended SHOT Show, it's mostly vendor, but you can get in if you have a social media presence of some kind. You can get in as media to attend. So that one is mostly businesses, but if you do have a business, or if you are, a 2A content creator and you can get in, it's a great way to go and meet and greet and talk to a lot of businesses, talk to a lot of manufacturers, distributors, make contacts. Whereas then you've got your public ones like GunCon or GOA Goals, where other people can attend publicly. This one's mostly for vendors. They have a whole floor where it's like military and police stuff. It's a pretty cool event. Yeah, pretty cool. But we're about on the hour-and-a-half mark, so if you guys got any final questions, feel free to ask, feel free to comment, say whatever. Totally cool with me. But thank you for checking out Stiffler Manufacturing, where we turn steel bars into the slides you see before you. We do all of the Cerakote work in-house. Our steel is 17.4. A lot of other businesses use 416R, so we're going a little higher quality on the steel. Our aluminum RMR covers, we don't use plastic. Other companies use plastic. They tend to break and crack over time. So aluminum is definitely the way to go. And of course, we're doing our Glocktober sale, 15% to 20% off all of our stripped slides this month. So if you're looking at doing a new build, or if you're just new to building in general, good time to get into it. We're at a cheaper price. Save yourself some money for your parts kits or your frame or for your ammo. But yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for checking us out. Thank you for all the likes and the new subs. It's always appreciated. And as always, just stay 2A every day.